Drew Davidson. Number 20, Brent Forsyth. Number 22, Liam Ogilvie-Mitchell. Number 24, Bradley Wise. Number 25, Aaron Quigley. Number 27, Daniel Ma. Number 28, Darren Raglis. Number 29, Richard Baldock. Number 31, Joshua Bond. Number 33, Matthew Davey. Number 34, Brody Vick. The captain, number 7, Luke Speed. And last but not least, the coach once again, Todd Hayes.
Sorry, mate, time left to get a bag. Congratulations, well done.
All right, I'll see if I can find some words. Firstly, I want to thank the NTFL for putting on a fantastic day once again. And to the Spartans boys, another great contest. Thanks very much, guys. In regards to our boys over here, the committee, all the guys behind, we had a massive amount of people to select from this week. So to the guys who missed out on actually playing in today's game, this is for you as well. Believe that. We needed you. To that bunch out there that just went out and busted their ass and their son, congratulations. Thanks very much, guys. You've just given me the best send-off ever. That's it for me. I've finished footy, and I just want to say thanks. That's just all I could ask for. Cheers to my wife and my child for looking after me today, and thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Todd. And AFL NT board member Andy Gray will now present the Premiership Cup and Premiership flag to the Banks Football Club Division 2 Premiers for 2014-15. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the Banks Football Club? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the PINT Football Club.
We are from Darwin, we are the team. We can't be beaten. Seems we sing at the end of the season. You know the reason. We are the Premier team. What am I about to tell? And what is the stuff? And if you want to join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthem? Welcome to Marara Oval, a very hot and humid day here at TIO Stadium, but a magnificent game upon us. It's PINT versus Banks in a throwback to the old Tifa days. What a game we have ahead of us. Dave Kennedy is my name on AFL NTV. Look forward to bringing you the game, and a really special guest joins me today. He hasn't broadcasted a game since... We'll find out very soon, but it's been a long time. He certainly hasn't been on AFL NTV this year, but it's my privilege and my pleasure to welcome Stan Coombe to the broadcast. Stan, the man from Alice Springs, welcome to Darwin and welcome to AFL NTV.
I'll tell you what, your intro probably overstates it a bit, Dave, but great to be on board. Yeah, I think August last year at the You and the Moo Sports Carnival, probably my last call. Real privilege to be able to do a Banks versus Pints grand final, because played in a few of them back even before the Tifa days when it was the NT Football Association. So great rivalry between these two clubs now for many, many, many years.
And great to see Pint with that Guernsey that just looks like a throwback to the older times as well. And they're going to win the first clearance of the game. Free kick given to Matthew Gale, runner-up in the Division 1 best and fairest. He goes short to the former Saint Alan May, sends him up towards 50. McGrath is the target, can't quite take it, spills out close to the boundary line, and boundary throw in the results. At half forward for Pint, who go into this game as favourites, Stan, after qualifying in the semi-finals.
Big Batston got the tap there for Banks from the ruck contest. Ball stuck on their half-back flank at the moment. Now a quick kick gets the ball moving forward for the Bulldogs. Almost a half-volley pick up there by Sam Priest. Now the cavalry arrives for Pints. Banks able to link up through handball. Priest will provide a little bit of a shepherd and allows his teammate to run forward all the way to the 50. The kick is hooked out into the forward pocket. Sliding chest mark taken for the Bulldogs. Might be Scott Goats down there who's got it, and the first shot of goal coming up for the game from about 20 metres out. Pretty tight angle deep in the forward pocket. Good
transition, wasn't it, Stan? Brad Tarney was the man that sent it to him, and geez, he had a good game last week, and he'll be dangerous in the midfield once again for the Bulldogs.
Great dash from him on that occasion, but really set up by Priest, who was involved with the play originally, and then the shepherd. The shot of goal by Goats is through for the first goal of the game. The Banks Bulldogs have got it. One straight goal, 6. Leading the Pints Bull Ants yet to score. That's probably the start the underdog wants in a grand final.
Yeah, it certainly is, and of course coming off a grand final win as well, the Banks Football Club, Stan. They are Division 2 premiers after defeating Spartans reasonably comfortably in the end.
Yeah, congratulations to the coach too, who cleaned up. Also got a premiership medallion for playing in the game, and best on ground as well.
It's not bad. I don't think I've ever seen anyone win all 3 medals. We said that this match is a throwback to older times. Well, the old playing coach winning the best on ground is an even bigger throwback. And look at this, the Bulldogs are going forward once again. Kick inside 50 from Reece Mitchell. Will it sit? Not quite on this occasion. Kenzie there trying to mop up. And Pint just working it towards the boundary line, and it spills out of play. Boundary throwing inside 50 for the Bull Ants. For the Bulldogs, I should say. The Green Ants and the Bulldogs. And boundary throw in.
Just look a little bit nervous at the moment, Pints. Couple of little fumbles when they get their hands on the footy. Grand finals can do that, and especially the teams that are favourites. The Bulldogs will go deep in towards the goal square here. Marking contest. Ball off hands and through for the first behind of the game. Banks move on to 1-1-7. Pints yet to score. And we've had about 3 minutes of play so far in the opening term. Taking the mark from the kick in for Pints was John Kenzie. He'll come down the grandstand side. The kick towards the wing. Big punch away from behind by Alex Caitner there for the Bulldogs. Ball out towards the boundary line. Now over the line as they try to get the quick kick forward. Boundary throw in at centre wing right in front of the grandstand. The Morris Rioli stand, which is filling up in anticipation of the big one this afternoon as well.
Yeah, big crowd in already. It's a testament to the season. It's been a very good season, and some great crowds have come out to watch it as Chauvin tries to tap that one down. Pint win the clearance through Hocking, kicking towards the middle of the ground. No mark taken by Rayson. It spills to ground level. Shane Lurk there to mop up for the Bulldogs. Kick partially smothered though. It comes off hands towards Jason McGlynn. It's a famous football name as McGlynn goes inside 50 looking for Crook. Too strong up ahead. Umpire doesn't pay the mark on that occasion. Maybe a bit stiff now that the mark is paid.
Or the free. Had to be one or the other.
It had to be one, didn't it, Stan? And Callum Crook will go back. Probably got the distance from here. He might back himself.
Fair old target, isn't he? Got a bit of height about him.
Great matchup that. Matt Salter versus Callum Crook. And Crook doesn't quite get onto this one. It falls short, almost a mark in the top of the goal square. It's going to be a high contact free kick though. PINT should kick the goal. It's going to be a shot on goal coming up for Racing. I think it may be the top of the goal square.
And umpire's got that one spot on. The spoil wasn't bad. He got fist on the footy, but then the arm came down and definitely dragged over the shoulder. Easy shot at goal here for PINT to get there first.
To reduce it back to just 1 point. A little bit nervous, the kick, but in the end it's a goal. And Green Ants back within 1 point. Brad Racing bangs it through. And after almost 5 minutes, almost locked up.
Might be the steadier that PINT's needed. They looked a little bit nervous in the opening exchanges. Like I said earlier on, a couple of fumbles, and Banks have probably had the football up inside there, attacking 50 a fair bit more than PINT's to this stage. That's probably the first time they've got it real deep inside that attacking 50, and Racing able to capitalise and get the Green Ants' first goal on the board. There's only 1 point the difference at the 5 minute mark. Banks in front 1-1 to one straight goal. 6 pretty even contests there between the two ruckmen. Adam Spencer getting his head over the football for the Bulldogs. The umpire's going to blow the whistle. We'll repeat proceedings in the middle of the ground with another ball up.
Stan, Marty Hocking has just sent us a tweet to say hi. He's a big fan of the broadcast, and he said that you and I are going to battle it out for who can become the most excited today as Gale puts it inside 50, looking for his coach, Chris Bucks, but it goes out of play in front of Sam Priest. A boundary thrown inside 50 for the Green Ants. 1 point the difference. They're trailing Banks. This is a throwback to Tifa times in the Division 1 Grand Final here at TIO Stadium on NTFL Grand Final day, as this one is brought back into play. Crook got front position, won the tap down. It's all Bulldogs at ground level though. Needs to get rid of it quickly was Lurk. He was bumped as he kicked it. Ball spills towards the boundary line. Evans takes it across the line, and a boundary throw it inside 50 for the Green Ants.
Done pretty well there, Lurky, because he was under extreme pressure deep in the back pocket there. He took the bump as well as he got boot to ball. Under those circumstances, could have been forgiven and went out on the full, but he kept it along the ground and gained a bit of yardage for the Bulldogs. PINT so desperate to keep it inside that attacking 50. Quick kick forward, only travelled a couple of metres. Banks player over the top of the footy. The umpire will call for a ball up about 45 metres out from the PINT's goal, and since they got their first on the board, it's been all one-way traffic for them heading towards the end of the ground that now features the completed Michael Long Learning and Leadership Centre. What a magnificent addition to Northern Territory football that is. PINTs go forward from the wing.
No mark taken, mark taken by Andrew Scott in the end, and he hands off, and the Green Ants go inside 50 through Kenzie. Kick was perfect for Crook. He dropped a mark that he really should have held on to. Can the Bulldogs make them pay? Not on that occasion, or in fact Johnson taken out of it illegally. Now, Will Johnson, Stan, he was an absolute runaway winner in the Division 1 Best and Fairest. I think the votes came up at about round 14. He was already home and hose.
Gee whiz, Adam Spencer received the footy from him, got the kick towards the attacking 50, some interference in the marking contest there. PINTs will get the free kick. Patrick Haim on to take it from his defensive 50-metre line. Yeah, from what I can gather, he's won the medal by the same number of votes that the second place getter actually got.
Yeah, it was interesting. Anthony Venus was reading the votes, and he was reading them slowly. No need to theatricise or make it theatrical. It's all over, Vino. It's a done deal at round 15.
And of course, Will Johnson, he'll give the medal back if he can get a premiership medallion today.
Definitely.
You know, the individual awards, they're great. But everyone that plays a game, they're out there to win the game that they're playing in today, the grand final. PINTs linking up with Hamill. Desperate tackle from behind. That stopped them from moving it further forward. Now the umpire's indicated a free kick. It will go PINT's way. Hand over the shoulder was what the umpire's signalling. Tim Hocking. Don't know if you know him, Marty Hocking, but here he goes for PINTs. He's looking for Crook, as they probably will do all day, deep into attack. Banks had the numbers at the back of the marking contest. Long clearing kick out towards the half-back flank. That was a one-on-one contest there. First after it is Hayden Pearson for the Bulldogs. Delivers inside 50. It was a beautiful pass too. Found the player on the lead out from full forward. Mark taken in front of the eyes by Scott Goats. Do I say Goats or Goatsy?
Yeah, geez, I reckon either or. I might go with Goats today.
Wonder if he's related to that NT News tipster, Gary.
Yeah.
Gary the Goats. So Goats, he kicked the first for the Bulldogs, this time from 50 out. It's not going to be a goal, it's offline, and will drift very wide and go out of bounds on the full points to take the free kick from deep in defence.
NT News, very good friends of the broadcast stand, and we might have to give them a call, give Gray Morris, Dale Fletcher, or Jordan McCardle, the wonderful sports team down at NT News, a call as PINT try to clear defence. It's a good kick, very good kick.
And especially wonderful too, because a couple of them spent time in Alice Springs before heading up here.
Well, it is. It's a very much an Alice Springs dominated riding team and riding lineup, and the Red Tails in the news very recently, Stan.
Yeah, a game down in South Australia last night. I'm still to find out the result. Look, if someone
could
fill
win
us
against Encounter Bay, I think.
They did beat Encounter Bay. Well done to the Red Tails. One more to go against Edwardstown, I think, tomorrow.
Very interesting.
Back here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, the ball out on the wing on the far side of the ground, right in front of the scoreboard reading Banks 1-1-7, Pints 1 straight goal 6, and it's been a very even start between these two long-time rivals in the opening 10 minutes of the game. This time Banks will go forward, courtesy of the tap from the ruckman out there on the wing. Oh, little handball out. Gee, it was under enormous pressure. Adam Spencer, he copped one too as he got the fist on the footy to get the handball out wide to a teammate. The umpires spotted something illegal in it, and he's actually calling the Pints player away from this. Got a funny feeling there might be a report going on here, Dave. Is it just a little chat? Maybe a reminder not to do it again? He still continues to march his Pints player away from the action and into the centre square for a one-on-one chat. I wonder what's going to actually eventuate from this, bar the free kick for Banks.
This is a very strange circumstance, isn't it, Stan?
It is.
Huge.
And now the yellow cards come out as players actually gone on. Banks go forward. Oh, Mark spilt right in the goal square. And Pints able to clear up. This ball might come out to this player yet before he even gets off the ground. No, out of bounds on the half-back flank. As the player sent off now gets off the ground on the wing. It took a long time for the field umpire to deliver that yellow card.
I'm not 100% sure that that's the right decision. I'm going to reserve comment, but it's Rick Ogg that is the man who's sent from the field.
And he's off.
Pint now a man down, so similar rules to soccer there as Banks put it inside 50. Dangerous spot. Pint forced to defend. Bucks' handball was intercepted. Then he will aid the tackle, brought his opponent to ground. Good tackle, good pressure once again from the coach. But in the end, it's Banks that go inside 50 through Wheeler. Coming from behind there was Goad. Umpire says he gave away a free kick in the process. So a free kick to Robert Kenzie inside his defensive 50.
So is that a 10-minute send-off with the yellow card, Dave?
Jeez, we might have to get one of the Division 1 specialists in. I'm not 100% sure, but
it's a vital 10 minutes if that's the case.
It's like a power play, effectively a power play, isn't it?
It is, and if Banks don't take advantage of it, well, then they've missed out, and Pints will be defending desperately over this next 10 minutes while they're one man down. Footy out on the far side of the ground, just around from the scoreboard, maybe just favouring the attacking side that Banks are heading towards. Should be the Pints club end of the ground. Now Banks get it moving a little bit further forward. The quick kick bounces just inside the attacking 50. Gee, there was a skillful half volley pick up there and a little exchange of handballs as well. Bradley Tarney was in the middle of it. The quick kick forward mark for Pints, so at half back by Matthew Gale. Gee, I wonder if he's the son of Gus Gale, one of the Pints players I used to play against.
There you go. Geez, he's been good this season though, and Pints are away. Creative play down this grandstand wing. The kick goes inside 50 in the crook direction. Couldn't quite gather on the half volley. Everyone went the footy. Not Brad Rayson. He gathered the loose footy and from close to the boundary line. Oh, geez, they celebrated prematurely. And it drifted across the face for a minor score, but that's enough to lock things up at TIO. Stan, we're level already on AFL NTV, and excitement's already creeping into this game.
Well, we'll be real excited if it's still like that with 5 minutes to go, the score level. I tell you, that was great play by Big Crook. He took two Banks players out of that contest and opened the door up for Rayson. It was really only when the ball got past the edge of the grandstand that the breeze caught it and took it away from goal. Banks have moved it quite swiftly out to the far side of the ground. Opportunity here. The handball comes back, went over to Mark Chadwick. He was quick to give it off again. Now the kick further forward up towards the wing, but it's too far out in front of the big ruckman there, Daniel Batson. He can't keep it in play. He'll get to go back and contest the boundary throw in though.
14 minutes gone, first term on AFL NTV. Dave Kennedy and Stan Coombe joining you for the first time in commentary this season, but what a game it is. PINT and Banks playing off in the Division 1 Grand Final. Ball sharked 20 metres forward for PINT, but Tani able to cut it off for the Bulldogs. A short kick is marked by Bowie. Just right on centre wing, hands off, and they're going to try and link up by hands here in the middle of the ground. And now the kick forward from Pearson to penetrating kick inside 50. No mark taken. Here's John Kenzie though in defence. Slightly different role for him this year. Defensive role, goes short, finds Hocking. And PINT just going to build up here. Geez, not a good kick. Turned over. John Kenzie forced to try and mop up for the Green Ants right over the footy. Spilled out. Now a chance here for Kathner. It spills out from him. McGlynn, that's Zach McGlynn. Put his head over the footy. Bulldogs win the 50-50 though. Brad Tarney been busy very early. Got the handball out. It ends up with the taint.
Tenchi? It's a hard one to read, isn't it?
Now the Bulldogs building.
And they get the handball into the centre square. Went over to Christopher Kent. Might be related to Clark. They'll need a Superman out there today to get up. Now the PINT's defence linking up with handball. May with the little one backwards. He's been chased down. Is that holding the ball? Yes, it is. Free kick will go to the Bulldogs. And Scott Goats with it. Kicks inside 50. He went across ground rather than heading towards the goal square. The PINT's defence gets there. Patrick Heyman, handball. Now the kick out towards the wing. It bounces over the dreadlocks of the Banks player there and rolls out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. And that's Trent Steers, the Banks player down there with the very attractive dreadlocked hair.
Yeah, speaking of
Bob Marley fan.
Speaking of locks, Stan, half-time of the Premier League game. Going to have my locks removed for the Leukemia Foundation. I'm really enjoying my hair whilst it lasts for the next couple of hours, but half-time it's all coming off. Make sure you give a donation to the Leukemia Foundation. They do a great job cancer research.
Well done, mate.
Spills out of plate. And a boundary throw in inside 50 for the Bulldogs. Spills out the back. Priest won the tap down. Just a little one off the ground. Now Bowie met solidly. Zach McGlynn really put him on the ground. Banks win the clearance though. High kick up towards the top of the square. The dangerous Aaron Knappman weighted down, then later pretty good tackle on Hammond. He was dispossessed. It's in dispute. 15 metres out. Hammond just threw it on the boot. Comes out the walk towards Alan May, who's quite content to take it out of play. Geez, it's a physical start here on AFL NTV, and there's a few nerves from both sides, Stan.
There is, look, the player putting pressure on May there as the ball went over the boundary line. Number 2 for Banks, Bradley Tarney. At this particular point in time, he is easily best on ground. If he hasn't racked up 8 to 9 possessions already, well, we haven't been commentating it, Dave. He's going very well. Now, from the boundary throw, and the umpire spotted a free kick. He's indicating hand over the shoulder. The free kick will go to the Bulldogs, so a chance to drive it deep inside the attacking 50. He can put it into the goal square from here if he likes. Will Johnson, this year's best and fairest medalist in Division 1. He looked for the tall timber. PINT's defence there in numbers, off hands, quick kick out to centre wing. Could be crucial out here. We've got a one-on-one contest. Christopher Kent leads in the race for the footy for the Bulldogs. Oh, gee, he had a bit more time to do better with the kick than what he did. It's gone out of bounds on the full right in front of the Rusker Brothers sign. And the free kick will go to PINT's. So from their half-back area. Chance to get the ball moving forward and up into attack again. It's almost come to a bit of a stalemate though this game, Dave. Just played between the two half-back lines at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a very interesting stalemate because at the moment Banks have superior numbers on the football after Rick Ogg was yellow carded. It's one of those interesting scenarios that only occurs in the underage competitions and the reserve grade competitions. He's been yellow carded and not able to be replaced, so Banks with superior numbers out there, and PINT at the moment doing well to nullify that. 1-1-7 apiece.
You'd have to think they're probably calling this 10-minute period a win at the moment, PINT, because Banks haven't done any damage despite the extra number.
It was very low scoring as well, and quite similar to this last week when Banks played against Nightcliff in the prelim final, and goals were really hard to come by, even though Aaron Knappman is the leading goal kicker in the competition. Division 1 goal kicking was won with about 50 goals, so there weren't too many standout goal kickers as the Green Ants go forward towards McDermott. Kicks too wide though, out of bounds on the full.
So Banks pretty well off their defensive 50-metre line out wide. And tell you what, the players are just packed over that far side of the ground. Doesn't really look like there's a switch on. He's probably just going to have to go long and up the line here, and that is the method. Just kicking to the big pack. Pints had the player in front, but couldn't hold on to the grab. Plenty of players around there. The umpire, there's been a few high tackles called. And there's another one. Goes Pints' way. So they can move forward from that far side wing and keep it wide. It was a pretty good kick too. Mark taken on the chest by Ross McDermott. Or is it out on the full?
Yep, out of bounds on the full, says the umpire.
Almost a good kick. He certainly hit the teammate on the chest. Now Banks will just give away a little bit of ground here. Got the footy to Reece Mitchell. Not too sure why they did it, just to go back to that long kick out towards the wing on the scoreboard side, and once again out of bounds on the full. They're trading them.
Hard work for the boundary umpires at the moment, isn't it? Particularly on that far side of the ground.
They've been in the action.
So what can the Green Ants do? Very close to quarter time, a long kick down the line. That might even be it. You feel that's quarter time on AFL NTV. It's all locked up and it's all still to come on AFL NTV. 3 quarters left. We'll be back very shortly. Stick with us.
The choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
G'day Thunder fans, there is free entry to all NT Thunder home games at TIO Stadium this year. Plus, discover Thunderland for the kids with the big water slide and face painting for the kids. Thunder's first home game is Saturday, April 18. Watch your team play the Southport Sharks at 6:30 p.m.
It's our territory, your team, our time.
Your new venue for live sports and entertainment. Acers. Opening soon at Sky City, Darwin.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
Kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I don't know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Make your job easy.
Hello and welcome back to TIO Stadium for the second quarter of the Division 1 Grand Final. PINT taking on Banks, and another massive game on the cards. Dave Kennedy's my name. Stan Coombe joining me in commentary. Stan, it's been gridlock really in the first term. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, at the moment, maybe the first side that can string a couple of goals together is the one that's going to go on with it. But, gee, a real hard slog in that first term. Points, I've got to give them some credit here, Dave, because probably for the last 10 minutes of the term, they did it one man down and they didn't concede any more goals to Banks. So when they get it back to even numbers, they'll be pretty happy about that. If they can do it one down, surely they can do it with even numbers.
Well, ball's been worked out towards the wing.
Holding the ball.
So a free kick. And 50. So Alan May's going to get the free kick. And he's going to be taken to about 30 metres out from goal.
Can ill afford that in a low-scoring encounter like this. That 50 has marched him in for a shot at goal. And they have been rare as hen's teeth shots at goal in this game so far. You just cannot give up a 50 in this sort of situation.
So, free kick for PINT, and shot on goal coming here from Jason McGlynn. He bangs it through. The Green Ants are in front for the first time today.
What a costly 50-metre penalty that turned out to be. If the free kick was just given and taken from the original spot, well, the next kick might have got to the 50-metre line, but gee, just can't afford to give away yardage like that, particularly in a contest that has been as tight as this one. So vital goal for Pints to kick off the second term, 2-1-13 to 1-1-7. Lucky for the Banks player, we didn't pick up who it was that gave away the 50. Not a mention you want to get. So footy back in the centre. Pretty even contest there. I really couldn't mark that down to either ruckman. In over the top, riding his opponent like a horse. Adam Spencer there for Banks. It's the horse that's come up trumps here. Those Pints go forward. Lovely one-handed pickup. Bit slow to get the handball away though, the Pirates player that had hands on it there. Now the ball deep in their forward pocket and the Bulldogs able to defend a long clearing kick. Is that another one out on the full?
Geez, there must be magnets out there, leather magnets. It's going to be a free kick to Alan May on the far side of the ground.
In the game so far, 3 goals, but I reckon about 6 kicks that have gone out of bounds on the full.
It's been a little bit sloppy as Alan May goes inside 50, looking for Crook. It spills out the back of the pack. Dangerous contest here for the Bulldogs, but De Bono's good enough to take that one out of play.
You mentioned that Knappman from Banks, the leading goal kicker in the competition, Callum Crook, did he get a fair few as well?
I think I believe that he was up there, noted goal kicker, maybe not in the top 5, but certainly a focal point for the Green Ants, and is holding the ball free kick here, and it's going to be a free kick to the Green Ants. Gerard McGrath to take it. 2.5 minutes gone. Second term.
Gee, lightning start if he kicks this one. Lightning start to the second term for Pints. after the dour struggle in that opening term. And it's come about because of a little bit of a lack of discipline from the Banks Bulldogs. A 50-metre penalty, free kick given away 15 metres out in front of goal.
In comes McGrath, makes no mistake. Green Ants extend, margin 2 goals. 3 minutes into the second term on AFL NTV.
Well, we might very well look back on this 3-minute period, Dave. There's a vital one for points. I think I said right at the start of the team that strings a couple of goals together might very well be the one that goes on with it here, and points have done just that. Successive goals. They're 3-1-19 to Banks 1-1-7. 12-point margin when both teams could only muster 7 points apiece in the opening term.
Geez, we just had a word come in from James Pyle, who said that this is the worst commentary ever.
Oh, thanks, James.
So, big shout out to Jimmy Pyle, who's watching the Green Ants online on AFL NTV. And make sure, locate the volume button, turn it down, Mr. Pyle, as there's a free kick in the middle of the ground. It's going the way of the Bulldogs, and they're going to send it forward. Long kick up towards centre half forward. Natman's thereabouts. He waited down. It spills out the back there towards teammate Tin Bowie. And now he's over the footy. Did he get one in the back? Umpire says yes. Kenzie has gone into his back. So a free kick to Peter Bowie, about 48 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle.
It's going to be a mighty kick from there. He's going to have to kick it from about 52. Certainly not a lot of space forward of him for his forwards to lead into at the moment, so he's going to just bang it into the goal square.
In he comes, Peter Bowie. They gather short of the goal line, and another free kick that is going to result in a scoring shot. Aaron Natman, he's the dangerous player for Banks. He's going to be the recipient of the free kick.
He's probably fortunate to drop short. That's probably what put him in the position there to draw the free kick from his Pints opponent.
Natman comes in and should kick a goal, and he does. So Banks back within 1 goal.
The leading goal kicker in the competition gets his first in the grand final. 6 points the difference. After successive goals to Pints, Banks get one back, keep themselves in the contest. The ruck contest will be between Daniel Batson for Banks, Andrew Scott for Pints. Neither ruckman going straight at each other. They're almost lining up, coming in from a direction almost from the wing side of things. Pints able to defend off their half-back line. Little kick goes out towards a wing one-on-one contest out there. James DeBono gets a hand on the footy for the Dogs. Sends it over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in centre wing, grandstand side of the ground. Once again, Batson and his opponent will go at it, Andrew Scott.
I think we must have called them the Bull Ants a few times, and we've been notified they're definitely the Green Ants, and the Green Ants are the ones moving it forward. Good tackle there coming from Tonti, and a ball up about 60 out from the Pint end of the ground. In fact, that's Shane Lurkey that laid that tackle. Umpire Walker send us back into orbit. Taps it down, clever little tap down towards Johnson there. But Pint win the clearance, kick inside 50. Bounces before for Balajo. Crook just went in, threw his body around, then laid a big tackle. How's the umpire going to adjudicate this one? Ball up inside 50 for the Green Ants.
And I reckon he's got it right too. The Banks player that had the foot in his hands, ducked into the tackle. And under those circumstances, you're normally not going to get a free kick. So ball up 50 out from the Pints goal. Batson's doing pretty well in the ruck for Banks. He got his hands on that one again. I would have cleared from just inside the defensive 50. It was a nice pass, juggling attempt to take the mark. Successful though for Josh Wheeler. So Wheeler from half back now for the Bulldogs. Indicates to his teammates he's going to go long. The target he's looking for is Sam Priest. Pushed out of that according to the umpire, and Priest will get the free kick. Bulldogs had the footy now just forward of centre wing, attacking down the grandstand side of the ground. It's a long kick towards the attacking 50. Ball off hands, spills to the Bulldogs, running in towards goal. Hayden Pearson, and he puts it through. And Banks have got scores level again in the Division 2 Grand Final.
Great goal there from Pearson, and I'm sure the boys will pull us up. Division 1 stand. Division 1, they won't be happy. Division 2 Grand Final, of course, won by Banks anyway. But as you said, great goal from Pearson. We're all locked up again.
It's a good effort to come back from Banks. Pint's got the successive goals, Dave, and the team, I think they kicked them with inside 3 minutes.
6 individual goal kickers on the ground for Banks. Aaron Knappman and Pearson have kicked goals this quarter. The other goal going to Scott Gertz early on in the game, while for Pint, Jason McGlynn, Jared McGrath and Brad Rayson are the goal kickers. Back in the middle of the ground, tap down towards Alan May. He couldn't control it. Little handball over the top there, Andrew Scott. Pint work it forward well. Jared McGrath puts it up towards the hot spot. Callum Crook the target. Edged his opponent well. Went off the ground. Misses to the left-hand side. Minor score, but there's a whistle. The umpire's found a free kick. And it's going to be a free kick to Crook. Or maybe just a stern warning. Just a stern warning, I think. That's enough to give Pint the Green Ants the lead, Stan.
Interesting. I even thought Banks might have been getting a free kick there, because he socketed that out when the footy was pretty close to a Banks Bulldogs player's head. They've gone long and got it out to the scoreboard side of the ground, the Dogs, and the next kick rolling up towards the wing. Leading in the race for the footy for Banks, Sam Priest. Dished the handball off inside. The next kick forward was under a fair bit of pressure. It was a bit of a scrubbing kick, but it's gone inside 50 for the Dogs. Picking it up is Bowie. Bowie gets it away. Another chance here. Oh, marked right in the square, and now goal to the Dogs. Coates gets his second. First multiple goal kicker of the game. It's a good play to set it up for him too, by Knappman involved in that. Suddenly, Banks have got their noses in front. Pints open up a 12-point lead with the first 2 goals of the term. They kicked him inside 3 minutes. With 3 goals in 7 minutes to Banks. Now they hold a 5-point lead. It's good to see the game open up like it has too, Dave.
It certainly started to open up, as you mentioned, Stan, and yeah, interesting. They went in board to Crook at one end of the ground, and then Banks just able to counteract that reasonably easily. So it's maybe a few concerns for the coach as we have another ball up inside the centre circle. Big shout out to Darren DeMazzo, who's watching with the Aussie crew there in Canada. Great to see AFL NTV going international once again, as we regularly do. Big contingent watching it in Puerto Rico once again, Stan, as is always the case, as the Green Ants head towards centre half forward, just edging it forward, but the Bulldogs have other ideas. A little tap towards the boundary line is good. Got the intended target, the umpire pinged him though, and disappointment there for Josh Wheeler. Thought he disguised it well enough. Free kick to Ben Evans, who goes over the top. May lost his footing. Might be able to get back to it and lay a tackle. Did well to affect that contest, really. And now Alan May back to his feet. Just tried to tap it on. Gave time, though, for Watson to come in. Also there is Kaz Black. It's still at ground level and in dispute. Rayson did well to win the clearance and then kick inside 50. What's happened here? Whistle coming off the ball, or at the original contest. And it's a free kick.
Banks.
Shane Lurkey.
Tell you what, give some credit to Alan May. He would well and truly be in the veteran category these days, wouldn't he? His second and third efforts in that passage of play. Terrific stuff from a bloke who's probably getting towards the end of his playing days. Long kick from Banks. Up towards the half-forward flank area. Ball taken off hands for Pints by Matthew Gale. He goes long back towards their attacking 50. That's a good, strong 2-grab mark. Taken for the Green Ants by Ross McDermott. He's about 55 metres out from goal. Ignored the lead of Crook on that occasion. That's probably the first time they've ignored the big fella when he's been on the lead. And they'll go long now in towards the goal square. Probably could have waited for him to get back there. The ball off hands and through for 1 point to Pints. They move on to 3-3-21. They're trailing Banks 4-1-25. The Bulldogs lead by 4 points. Almost 13 minutes gone in the second term.
Hashtag AFL NTV. If you want to join in the conversation, that's always the famous Twitter hashtag as the Bulldogs clear defence up towards Kathner. He can't quite take it. It spills out the back. Bit of space for Kaz Black. They move it by hands and then by foot in the Priest direction. Juggles the mark. And it plays on immediately. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Wants his forwards to come up towards the footy and meet it there. Reece Mitchell, the target. Green Ants clear defence though up towards the wing. No mark taken there. McGrath comes off hands and spills out of play, making sure it goes out of play. Adam Spencer as he gets to his feet. And a boundary throw in just backwards of centre wing for the Green Ants.
Just as Pints look for Crook whenever they go deep into attack, whenever Banks head towards half forward, the man they're looking for there is big Sam Priest. He's taken a few grabs. He's getting his hands on everything for him at the moment. Big pack of players around this after the boundary throw in. The ball does spill out. Banks player with his head down. The umpire's called play on. And we'll get another ball up. And that's the signal for 3 quick interchanges there for the Banks Bulldogs. Players one after the other heading towards the gates. Big punch forward by Batson, doing very well in the ruck. No one there at half forward for Banks, so cleaning up for Pints. Brendan Cloesy, his kick not particularly good. The Bulldogs come up with the mark in between wing and half forward. Chance to look for big Priest again around the attacking 50. The kick does go in his direction. He's got the front spot. They got another player back and cleared him. They spilt the mark at the back. Chance here for the Bulldogs. Knappman keeps the ball in play, tucked in tight to the boundary line. Slipped out the handball to Reece Mitchell. Mitchell go in towards goals. Oh, just a bit wide for his teammate Trent Steers to get hands on it. The ball rolls out of bounds for a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket.
Geez, almost the perfect kick there. I thought Steers was going to run onto that and kick another sausage roll, but not on that occasion. Boundary throw in inside 50 for the Bulldogs. What can Pint do in defence? What can the Bulldogs do in attack? High contact, and it's going to be a free kick. So not going according to script for Pint. There were heavy favourites coming to this game, and this man has had a prolific influence on the Division 1 season all year. Will Johnson will have a shot on goal to extend the margin to double figures once again.
It's all gone haywire for Pint since the 3-minute mark of this term. Look like, well, supposedly going to look like when they kick the first 2 goals of the team to open up a 12-point lead. Johnson puts it through for the Bulldogs. Suddenly they jump out to a lead of 10 points. He has looked a good player throughout the quarter and after we've seen so far, Dave, Will Johnson.
Yeah, he's a classy player, isn't he, Stan? And makes no mistake there. Margin 10 points now. Bit of pressure creeping into this game as we head towards the latter part of this quarter.
It's probably that midfield brigade they can thank too. Big Batson's done well in the ruck. And Johnson in combination with Bradley Tarney getting plenty of football around the middle of the ground for the Bulldogs. Batson, he's probably had the better of that one again. He's going to do the roving as well, the big ruckman. Slams it on the boot, gets the ball up towards the attacking 50 for the Bulldogs. Knappman was there, couldn't take the footy with him. Gee, that was an inventive handball over the head by Bronte Tenchi. The Dogs go forward, long kick into the pocket. The mark has been spilt by Reece Mitchell and the footy goes over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. It's only about 5 metres around from the Banks goal. Since Pints kicked the first 2 goals of the term, the Bulldogs have dominated and keep driving the ball forward.
Boundary throw in inside 50. Dangerous position. Robbie Kenzie got the clearing kick, able to clear the defensive zone. Coming back in his direction. They all fly. It comes off hands. Flying shot on goal there from Tonti up towards the goal line. It's sharked there by Chadwick, who got the handball back and then ran out of bounds. Ran out of room. And a boundary throw in. It's still inside 50 for the Bulldogs though, just under 3 minutes to go in this first half. And they're in attack and looking to extend on that 10-point lead. Boundary throw in inside 50. It's tapped down. No one able to gather clean possession. A number of players from both sides around the footy. The ball up the result. 17 and a half minutes gone. Second term, 10 points. Banks Bulldogs leading.
And another one here. Put them in a very, very nice spot at half-time. And a great smother too as Pints tried to get the kick out of defence. Gerard McGrath got left boot the ball, but it went straight into the hands of a Banks player. And now out of bounds for another boundary throw. So they've managed to keep it inside their attacking 50 and give themselves another opportunity of a goal just before half-time. Whistle's gone at the boundary throw in, and the umpire's going to give Banks a free kick and a shot at goal here. Players from both sides, Dave, just stood there looking at the umpire, waiting to see what the decision was. No one had an inkling whether or not they were going to get a free kick.
A lot of free kicks, isn't it? There's a lot of free kicks being paid at the moment, Stan.
So Bronte Tenchi. Tonte, you say? Tonte, yeah. T-N-T-Y-E. Take your pick. The shot at goal is through. You'll be reading it in the paper and you can make up your own mind tomorrow. He's got himself on the score sheet, and Banks now 6-1-37. Points 3-3-21. Suddenly that margin 16 points after they trailed by 12 at the 3-minute mark of the term. Great comeback by the Bulldogs.
It certainly is, Stan, and that could be the last opportunity to score in this first half with no time on in these quarters. 16 points the difference. Multiple goal kicker. The only multiple goal kicker on the ground is Scott Goetz, but this quarter Knapman, Will Johnson, Bronte Todd and Hayden Pearson have also been able to nail some goals, so that they're getting a good spread of goal kickers as we restart things in the middle of the ground. Good tackle, bring things to a standstill. Players waiting and the umpire pinging him.
He had two in the end, didn't he? That's 5 successive goals for Banks. Certainly didn't see that coming after Pints kicked the first two.
So good tackle, and rewarded for his efforts is Ross McDermott. Long kick inside 50. No mark taken. It comes off hands. Umpire says play on. But the Bulldogs clear defence, and Crook gave a little late one there. Umpire didn't pay a free kick on that occasion. John Kenzie mops up across half back for the Green Ants though. Still in dispute. Tackle comes on the last goal kicker, Bronte Todd, and this time he's brought to a standstill. Siren goes, maybe a premature siren, but it's half-time on AFL NTV. Banks, 37, leading Pints, 3-3-21. Back soon after the half-time break.
Ever imagine life without your car? Caught in the rain? Struggling to manage? Stuck on a bus? TIO understands your car is important to you. That's why we have Territory Car Insurance, local branches, call centre and claims teams. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
G'day Thunder fans, there is free entry to all NT Thunder home games at TIO Stadium this year. Plus, discover Thunderland for the kids with the big water slide and face painting for the kids. Thunder's first home game is Saturday, April 18. Watch your team play the Southport Sharks at 6:30 p.m.
It's our territory, your team, our time.
Patrons are reminded that TIO Stadium is strictly a non-smoking venue and that patrons wishing to smoke must use the areas provided.
Your new venue for live sports and entertainment. Acers. Opening soon at Sky City, Darwin.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details and safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Ever imagine life without your car? Caught in the rain? Struggling to manage? Stuck on a bus? TIO understands your car is important to you. That's why we have Territory Car Insurance, local branches, call centre and claims teams. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
G'day Thunder fans, there is free entry to all NT Thunder home games at TIO Stadium this year. Plus, discover Thunderland for the kids with the big water slide and face painting for the kids. Thunder's first home game is Saturday, April 18. Watch your team play the Southport Sharks at 6:30 p.m.
It's our territory, your team, our time.
Your new venue for live sports and entertainment. Acers. Opening soon at Sky City, Darwin.
AFL Northern Territory are committed to providing a safe environment for all patrons. To report any antisocial behaviour, text the issue and your location to 0498 062 213. Please note, responses cannot be sent.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business, Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details and safety checks.
I don't know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce. Coffee white with 1 bun with icing. No, pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Italian fucking big night on the grub or something. I told him, And who else? Kevin Allison from Alice. Another from our kid. And we got that Joanne Riddle's daughter.
Second half of the Division 1 Grand Final is now underway, and it's Banks that are leading this one by 6 points. Dave Kennedy's my name. Stan Coon joins me on AFL NTV. And geez, it's the Bulldogs going forward once again. They go inside 50. Good spoil there coming from Hocking, but Mark Payne or free kick?
Free kick. Look, it was a good spoil initially, but then the arm came down and did drag over the shoulder of the Banks player.
Knapman. Interesting kick, awkward kick, terrible kick really, and it goes out of bounds on the full.
Pretty lenient description of it. Gee, we've seen a few out on the full too today, probably getting close to double figures. Pints, well, they might be feeling a little bit of pressure now, gone into this game as favourites and a 16-point deficit at half-time. It's pressure they're probably not accustomed to, and it's on the biggest day of them all. They need a premiership quarter, the minor premiers. They work hard to get the ball out of that defensive 50. Long kick goes towards the wing. Big fist came from Alex Caitner from behind there for the Bulldogs. Now he receives the handball and he'll just chip it forward. It was a nice pass, a well-weighted kick. Looking for a 50-metre penalty there. The Bulldogs not forthcoming. Will Johnson with the footy has had a good game. The best and fairest in the competition this year. Not too sure how he got it with kicks like that though. That was pretty average into the pocket, and Pints come up with the footy and they'll defend through Robert Kenzie.
Switches play and McGrath takes the mark in the back pocket. Green Ants trailing by 16 points in the opening stages of this second half as Closey over the footy, just overran it. Bulldogs up towards centre half forward once again. No mark taken by Knapman. It spills down to ground level. In the end, Bowie emerged with the footy, was in two minds, wheeled the handball out. Aaron Knapman with time and space sums up his situation, kicks on goal and kicks it well and truly out of bounds on the full. That's two terrible kicks to start the second half for Aaron Knapman.
And the leading goal kicker in the competition as well. I think the Pints players and perhaps their supporters might breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief with those two kicks out on the full, because if either one of them was straight, things start to look very difficult. It looks like they've made a move too. Big Callum Crook, he's out there at half back at the moment as Bowie takes the mark for the Bulldogs and he can send them forward once more. And Crook was the target at full forward every time they went inside the attacking 50 in the first half. Banks give away a fair bit of ground there with the kick backwards, and the mark taken by Alex Caitner. It's been good early in this third term, Caitner. Big Priest has had a pretty handy game too as a marking target around half forward. He's got the crumbs after that marking contest. Tried to slip the handball out. The umpires, well, he's called it holding. The ball is probably incorrect disposal in there, and the free kick to Pints.
And they've got loose numbers in the middle of the ground. Brendan Closey is one of them. Kicked into the man on the mark though. Good smother there from Bowie. Closey mops up, got it to Vallejo. Umpire says he threw it out though. And now 50. Wow, this is a very controversial decision.
Big one. And I reckon the throw was right. It was the old flick pass. Not too sure about the 50. We can only assume maybe a comment directed towards the umpire there, but I thought he was right with the throw. Seemed to be too slick a give for it to be a correct handball.
Well, not good scenes for the Green Ants and their supporters, because it looks like another goal is coming up from Banks. So here comes Bowie.
Going for a second, he's been good.
From 20 metres out, straight through the middle. The Bulldogs extend.
7-1-43. That's Banks score. Pints are 3-3-21. The margin is blown out to 22 points. Banks have now kicked 6 successive goals without a reply from Pints after they kicked the opening 2 goals of that second term.
That's amazing.
Certainly didn't see it coming.
Geez, these old Tifa rivals, it's two sides where I guess the history or the minor season form doesn't really matter, does it, Stan?
No, well, Banks supporters would say that they've lost many a grand final that they went into as favourites. So perhaps looking to get one of them back now. Bowie, he's just kicked his second goal. He's really working his way into the game. Left-footed kick bounces up towards the attacking 50. Pints defender gets back there first. Tim Hocking. Big groan from the crowd as the ball goes over the boundary line. We get a boundary throw in on Banks attacking 50. They're making all the running at the moment, Dave Kennedy.
They certainly are. The Green Ants haven't been inside 50 this half, I don't think, as this one's about to be brought back into play. Crook into the ruck. It's a big move and breeds immediate success as they win the clearance. John Kenzie, high kick. There's a whistle though, and it's a Banks free kick. So something going on off the ball.
A bit more going on behind it too, isn't there? Wouldn't want to give away another 50, and I reckon they might have. No, the umpire stands on the mark, so the kick will still come from the 50-metre range.
Well, not 100% sure what that one was for. Will Johnson involved once again. This time he hands off, and a big shot on goal, just missing to the left-hand side. Might have been
Big Batson, I reckon. The big ruckman, I reckon.
It was the big ruckman, was it? Daniel Batson. So a minor score, but once again the Bulldogs doing all the attacking.
Whistle at the kick in. I think the other ball may be out on the ground or something to cause that to be retaken. So Pints to bring the ball back into play. They're going to go out the scoreboard side of the ground. Big Priest got there in time to affect the spoil for the Dogs. Then he picks up the crumbs, does a little bit of backtracking, steady, didn't quite connect with the kick, just wobbled inside the attacking 50, and Zachary McGlynn has come up with the mark for Pints. Chance to relieve the pressure that is building on their defence at the moment.
McGlynn forced to kick short. Alan May didn't quite juggle, and then just going to ground. Oh,
another one.
Another free kick, and
might have stuck up for the umpire a couple of times in favour of Banks in the call, Dave. I'm not too sure about that one. I didn't see a great deal in it, but gee, this fella that's getting the free kick, Bradley Tarney, at the moment he's putting his hand up for a BAG medal in the grand final.
Well, Tarney given a free kick there and able to take his kick. It's a high ball inside 50. Oh, a huge fly. Not able to come down with it, Crook, and then it spills out to ground level. Snapshot around the corner. Oh, it's a great goal. The Bulldogs extend. Aaron Knappman.
And I'll give some credit to Peter Bowie for helping to set that one up as well. He's been very involved in this opening term. Knappman gets his second. Bowie's got 2 and an assist. And the Dogs are making all the running now. 8 goals to 50. Pints stuck on 3-3-21. That's the score they had 3 minutes into the second term.
Well, it'll almost take a colossal comeback, really, for the Green Ants to get back into this one, Stan. So all the momentum wearing blue and white at the moment.
Yeah, 5 goals behind. They've only managed 3 in almost 2.5 quarters. Here go the Dogs again out of the centre. There's Bowie involved. No, he can't get away with it. His teammate called for a throw there, Adam Spencer, so the free kick will go to Pints. I think it's Anthony Vallejo with the footy. Played in many a premiership in green and gold, but normally with St Mary's. Gee, the kick wasn't marked out on the wing there for Pints. It's opened the door up for Banks once again. Long kick off the half-back line from Josh Wheeler. Puts it out wide to the half-forward flank area for the Bulldogs. Handball back inboard. Good tackle applied on Mark Chadwick. The ball spills free. Dogs in again. Little kick inside 50. Player loose and he rakes in the one-hander. That's Adam Spencer. And he can go back and have a shot for goal here from just inside 50.
Wow. It's amazing what momentum can do to a football match, and at the moment, the Bulldogs, they're just hungrier. They've got more options and they're having shots on goal as a result.
So Spencer, stuttering run up, puts it onto the left boot. It won't quite have the distance to be a goal. The pack goes up for the mark in the square. Ball off hands, tapped out towards the pocket. Gee, plenty of dogs forwards in there tackling hard. The ball spilled to the player, I reckon best on ground, Tardy! And he's put it through for a goal. Banks have got another one. That's their 9th. And now the margin 35 points. He deserved a goal, this little fellow. He's been terrific for him around the midfield. And look, that all came about from the pressure from the Banks forwards. They were willing to tackle points when they had the footy in their hand. They kept it in the area. And Tarney able to swoop upon it.
9.5 minutes gone, third term. And Banks have kicked 3 goals this half to extend their margin to what you'd think would be, or could be, a match-winning lead. 35 points the difference on AFL NTV. The Green Ants need to respond, and they need to do it in a timely fashion. Crook into the ruck. Didn't quite come down with it. Vallejo in the middle.
It's a bit of a dilemma for them now with Crook, isn't it? Because he's obviously been their go-to man at full forward all season. They need goals now, but he's not there. He's in the ruck. Big Priest has done pretty well at half forward. He's gone into the ruck for Banks. They go forward once again. The kick inside 50. Ball off hands. Spills to the Dogs. Snap a goal from Mark Chadwick has been marked in the goal square. And the Bulldogs should get another one out of this. Might be Goats. Yeah, he's kicked 2 already. 1 in each of the first 2 terms. So keeping up his average here, shouldn't be missing this. Directly in front, 5 metres out. He puts it through for another one. The Banks have got 10 on the board. And that might be a match-winning lead. This could be the premiership for the Bulldogs. Pints have got to have to pull something out of the hat now.
Well, Stan, they call it the premiership quarter. And you have to think that Banks have won the premiership in the last 10 minutes of footy. They've kicked 4 goals to nothing. And over the space since quarter time, they've managed to kick 9 goals to 2. It has been an absolute rout that has seen the Bulldogs kick 8 consecutive goals. 9 consecutive goals.
That's incredible, isn't it? Especially from a team that's an underdog. Gee, Priest, I really admired his work around half forward. Now he's starting to beat Crook in the ruck contest as well. Gee, they're just hunting the ball out of the middle at the moment, the Bulldogs, and riding the bumps as well. Hayden Pearson, like a pinball machine that time, onto the right boot, sends it out to the far side wing. Kaz Black leading in the race for the footy. Had a little shepherd that gave him time. He didn't use it. The kick went straight down the throat of the opposition, and Pints rebound with a kick out to the wing, but once again it's ill-directed. And Banks have some numbers there to hold them up once more.
Panic just creeping in, you feel, Stan, and now Harvey's over the footy, knocked it out. Bulldogs go forward off the ground though. It's a dribbling kick up towards half forward. Look at them, they're playing with confidence. Comes out here, and now Tarney kicks up towards the hot spot. Another mark inside 50 for Goats.
Well, Goats, the go-to man up there, isn't he?
He's been the focal point. A goal in each of the quarters so far. Now he lines up goal number 4.
If he kicks this, he starts to make his bid for a BOG medal, but I still like the fella that kicked it to him. Tarney has been terrific. He's involved in everything.
In he comes, Scott Goats. Starts it well left, and it's not a good kick. It goes well out of bounds on the full. Definitely not his best effort. Gives Robbie Kenzie a chance to gather his thoughts, regroup, have a think about this next kick, because the Green Ants are 41 points down. They need to kick a number of goals before the end of this half. Kicks across the face, finds Harvey in the back pocket, grandstand side, airport end here at Marara. Another short kick finds Hammond, half back for the Green Ants.
Hammond onto the left boot. Gee, that wasn't a good kick. Straight to Banks. Reece Mitchell will go long and deep inside 50. It's a floating, wobbling kick. Ball off hands. Pints defender gets his body over the top of it. It's spilled out. They then apply a good tackle. I think the umpire will have to ball this one up. He will. About 40 metres out from the Banks goal. Just nothing that Pints are trying at the moment is working for them, Dave.
Absolutely nothing. There's the coach out on the ground, Chris Bucks, for Pint. He would have some concerns as he's out there at the moment. Mark Chadwick was the ruckman for Banks, and now he's roving, but he's well met, and they all pounce on the footy. Another ball up inside 50. Bulldogs 10-2-62 leading Pint 3-3-21. 14 minutes gone, third term on AFL NTV. A big thank you to everyone watching, wherever you're watching around the world. This one's tapped back towards the Banks goal. Hammond just threw it on the boot, out towards the boundary line. It bounces a metre in from the boundary line. And the umpire says throw it in. Precision kick, or just a lucky bounce.
So close to what was probably about our 12th out of bounds on the full if it had gone over the line without the bounce. I think Big Batson's come back on into the ruck now for Banks after a little bit of a spell on the bench. Here he is again, Bradley Tarney. This time the handball loft over to Mark Chadwick. He kicks it into the forward pocket. Oh, the fella with the dreadlocks, Trent Steers, runs into the open goal and puts it through for another one to Banks. That's 11 on the board now, 11-2 to Pints 3-3. And it's just one-way traffic. It's hard to see what the Green Ants can do from here. Everything going Banks' way at the moment. Coming straight off the ground after kicking the goal, so they've been watching the AFL. Well done, Trent Steers. Well, just down to our right from where we're commentating, Dave. The Banks supporters look like they're getting pretty excited. As Steers came off, he got a standing ovation.
Well, the Division 2 boys, they're premiers for 2014-15, the Banks Division 2 boys. And I'll tell you what, the Division 1 boys are just about in the book already. And we're only in the third term. Stacks on the mill in the middle of the ground. Umpire just letting it go. Trying to sort something out, the Green Ants. Here they go, they're going forward. Closey just got it off in time. Here's Gale, needs to shrug the tackle, got around the tackler, runs into 40 metres out, and to say that is a much needed goal is the understatement of the game.
A terrific piece of play too. Worked very hard there, Matthew Gale. They came at him from all directions. He's had to shrug off a couple of tackles. But they're good enough to put it through. Pints get their fourth on the board. Finally answering 10 goals in succession from the Banks Bulldogs. Maybe another quick one just before three-quarter time.
Maybe another quick five, I think they need, Stan.
Definitely need the one just to give themselves a glimmer of hope. Priest in the ruck now for Banks. Gets it down towards Bowie. He's unable to break three. Goes back in again, Bowie. Banks end up going backwards with the handball and got it to Tarney. Another possession for him. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Ball off hands after the marking contest. Handball's been slipped out of smother there. The umpire spotted a free kick. It's going to go Banks' way again. This time he's calling legging. So the free kick on the attacking 50 for the Bulldogs. I certainly think they've had the better of the free kick count today. Adam Spencer with it. And 50. Well, that will just about seal the deal, I reckon, Dave Kennedy. They're going to give up another goal to a 50-metre penalty here, Pints. I can only assume it's back-chatting the umpire, and that would be a sign of the frustration that's now coming out with what hasn't been a performance they would have come into the game expecting to produce.
Well,
no missing from here for Spencer. And he bangs it as long as he can over towards the Pints club, but it's not Pints that's celebrating, it's Banks at the moment as they move on to 12 goals to 74 Pints, 4-3-27. We approach the 18-minute mark of the third term.
Yeah, who would have thunk it, Stan? That's amazing at the moment. 4-3-27, Pint, Banks 12-2-74. 18 minutes gone, and
6 goals to 1 in the term.
It's just been an incredible term from the blue and white. As the ball's retrieved, we're right to go again. There's only 2 minutes left in the quarter. Time, certainly the enemy for the Green Ants, but not as big an enemy as the opposition at the moment. They're tearing them to shreds. Gale kicked a good goal, but it's been the only highlight in an otherwise dim quarter.
Got the fair old wedgie then too, didn't he? Would have been comfortable.
Got a loose option here on this grandstand wing, and Rayson takes the mark. Chadwick very careful to man that mark, and then the high ball inside 50. Crook, very strong, almost took the mark overhead. It spills down though. Priest got the handball, it's still in dispute. Crook goes back in once again, try to funnel it back out towards Jason McGlynn. He couldn't quite gather. And now Bowie over the footy. They come in, Bowie once again. He's well tackled and brought to ground. The footy's still free though now, the umpire calls for it. And the ball up at centre half forward. 1 minute for both sides to score in this third quarter.
Certainly been impressed with Bowie's game, and Big Priest, who's about to do the ruck work now too. He's probably had the better of that one as well. His second efforts and work at ground level, great for a bloke of his size. Bowie got a soccer off the ground, sent the ball out towards the scoreboard wing. It's in Banks' favour. Bronte Tenchi with the footy. Kick up towards a half-forward flank. Pint should come out on top of this contest. Patrick Heyman with the football. Oh, again, things just not quite working as Gale spills the mark and then runs into all sorts of trouble, holding the ball to decision. The free kick will go Banks' way. They've got it on the half-forward flank scoreboard side of the ground. Kaz Black will be the player that ends up taking the free kick.
Wheels around, puts it inside 50. Can the Bulldogs find a late mark and kick a late goal? Alan May's there. It spills out, almost taken there by Mitchell. He's at ground level. Now trying to knock it out as May claims him. Green Ants work it out though. Robbie Kenzie with some time and space. There's the three-quarter time siren. It was the third quarter that could have just won the game for Banks. They're leading comfortably in this game. Back soon after the three-quarter time break.
Ever imagine life without your car? Caught in the rain? Struggling to manage? Stuck on a bus? TIO understands your car is important to you. That's why we have Territory Car Insurance, local branches, call centre and claims teams. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Every cigarette you smoke inside your car hurts the ones you love. And some of them don't have a choice. The next time you decide to have a cigarette, think about who else you're hurting. Smoking can kill those close to you. For help, call the Quit line.
Do you know a family in crisis? Contact the North Australian Aboriginal Family Violence Legal Service. We provide legal advice, representation, referral services and support to family and community. Break the chains of family violence today. Healing NT Families. For more information, call us today.
G'day Thunder fans, there is free entry to all NT Thunder home games at TIO Stadium this year. Plus, discover Thunderland for the kids with the big water slide and face painting for the kids. Thunder's first home game is Saturday, April 18. Watch your team play the Southport Sharks at 6:30 p.m.
It's our territory, your team, our time.
Your new venue for live sports and entertainment. Acers. Opening soon at Sky City, Darwin.
Amart Sports is your home of great sports with all the gear you need. Get a massive range of fitness, cycling, sporting equipment and games with clothing for any reason and footwear for all the seasons. From the biggest sporting brands in the world for the very best prices guaranteed. If you're a footy fanatic or a freak for fitness, relish the racket or bikes are your business. Amart Sports has got you covered with 50 stores Australia-wide. For a great range of great brands at great prices, get in store or shop online at Amart Sports today.
What did he say?
He says you can see quite well.
Every eye is an eye. When you're doing the surgery there, that is just as important as if you were doing eye surgery on the Prime Minister or the King.
Yeah. He's going to be all right.
1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know. It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium. Final quarter of action on AFL NTV for this season is about to get underway, and it is the final quarter of the Division 1 Grand Final. Maybe not going to expectations for a number of people. It is Banks that are leading very comfortably in this game, 74-27. Will they continue, or will the Green Ants be able to fight back? Well, it'll be interesting to see. Dave Kennedy's my name. Stan Coombe joining me in commentary. Stan, you haven't seen much Division 1 action this year, but coming into it, you must think that Banks have been the best side all year, clearly.
Well, having a look at what we've seen today, you could almost assume that they've gone into the game as favourites because that's the way they've played. That wasn't the case. Full credit to the Banks Footy Club at the moment. They're making every post a winner, and it's to follow on from their Division 2 Grand Final win earlier on in the day. It could be a very, very big night for the Banks Bulldogs supporters tonight. They managed to get the ball inside, well, in their attacking half once again from the centre bounce. They really have dominated proceedings. This forward pressure tackling too has been a part of it, and once again it's been successful. A holding the ball decision in their favour, and Kaz Black will send them deep inside the attacking 50 again. Pumps goes long and direct, looking for Priest.
He does. Oh, Priest. That's a mark, the umpire says. And he's going to go back. Jeez, he's been good today, Stan.
He certainly has. He had a spell in the ruck in the third term as well, after dominating around half forward as a marking target in the first half. Did very well in his spell in the ruck in the third term, and now back in the forward line. He's going to line up and have a shot for goal. Surprising that he hasn't kicked one, but most of his work has been done outside the attacking 50, marking it around half forward. If he kicks it, he deserves it, and if he does, it's hard to not think Banks are home.
In he comes. Priest sends it on its way, and he misses to the right-hand side, minus score. So margin sits at 48 points. 8 goals the difference in favour of Banks. 2 minutes into the final term on AFL NTV.
Points fall back, does the little old kick to yourself and then have a little bit of a run out. Kenzie it was. His delivery good outside the defensive 50 as well. Mark taken now long and into the centre of the ground, and that's probably what they're going to have to do. Take some risks and just go straight up the middle. Whistle's gone.
A lot of free kicks.
Free kick to Pints.
Plenty of free kicks, and Bucks getting the free kick on this occasion. Looks long and looks direct and goes inside 50. Strong mark taken by Og out in front. Sent off in the first quarter, and they really played reasonably well without him on the ground. Now he's coming back on. Launches from 50, not going to have the distance. Mark on the goal line, Harvey, and he's got a difficult angle to contend with. And 50 metres, no, umpire just whistling a few players away from the 5 metre protected area. So let's see how Spencer Harvey negotiates this one. Plays on, round the corner, goal. Margin back to 7 goals, and maybe the PINT recovery has legs.
Well, Banks did miss a gettable shot at goal to open the term. It's gone up the other end, and PINTs have got one on the board.
As you mentioned, Stan, direct footy, that's what they need to do. They went down the corridor, they took a risk, and the risk is that they might get scored against at the other end, but they really can't afford not to take that risk at this stage of the season, really.
Have to roll the dice now. The coach has certainly made some moves, and most of them been around big Callum Crook. Started at full forward, into the ruck in the third term. Now they've taken him out of the ruck, but put him at centre half forward, not full forward. So trying to use him as a marking target a bit further up the ground. The big fella comes off half forward, gets his hands on that. Ball does spill out in Banks' favour eventually, though. Quick kick sends it back towards centre half forward for them. Big Priest took the footy on the bounce, dished the handball off to a teammate. The kick goes inside 50 out wide. Goats in front, takes a mark on the chest. 55 out from goal. Has kicked 3, 1 in each of the terms so far. Scott Goats. He's gone for the pass, just popped it up. 2 bites of the cherry. Oh, mark not paid to the Banks player there. That was Hayden Pearson. Now the whistle's gone. The umpire's going to give him a free kick.
Wow.
Well, the PINTs player, after the whistle went, was pulling his knee out of the middle of the back of the Banks player on the ground. So maybe it was there Aaron Knappman to shoot for his third and put something that probably isn't beyond doubt, well and truly beyond doubt now. 35 metres out. This year's Division 1 leading goal kicker, Aaron Knappman, on his way in. It's going to drift wide. Through for one behind.
Jeez.
It's two goal kicking opportunities they've missed. Last time they did it, PINTs went straight up the other end of the ground and got one themselves.
Stan, you mentioned Big Priest, and we've mentioned him on a number of occasions. At Paddywhack 6, how good is the Big Priest? Hashtag dominating, hashtag AFL NTV.
Certainly has his blessing, the Priest.
He certainly does. And free kick here, an advantage given. And Brad Rayson's away, kicks into Cal Crook, who takes the mark right on 50. There's another whistle. There's just whistles been going off all day, really. And now some confusion between the umpires.
Team meeting between the umpires here.
They resolve it, and the resolution is that play will stand. And now Cal Crook from the edge of the centre square kicks up towards the forward pocket. No mark taken. Closier tried to barge his way through. The Bulldogs out of trouble. Good tackle on Tardy there. He's forced out of bounds. Jason McGlynn makes sure of that.
I'll give some credit to the Banks defender there, who got in front of his opponent as the kick went deep into the forward pocket. James DeBono, and then he chased it like a terrier to get it outside the defensive 50. DeBono, like a dog with a bone on that occasion. Ferocious. Ball on the half forward line for Banks. Big pack over it, and eventually the umpire signals holding the ball. He waited until the ball actually came out from the pack before the signal, and the free kick will go to PINTs. It'll be taken by Jason McGlynn. No, McGlynn hands it over to the big fella, Thomas Shobin, who eventually gave it off to Gale, and now Gale goes long and deep into attack for PINTs. They took it off hands. Little kick just went sideways. Great play by the Banks defence. Slick handball. They've actually linked up in a series of handball there, started by Adam Spencer. Now they're on the run from the defensive 50. A long kick gets it out to the half-forward flank. So they have transferred the football from one end of the ground up to their half-forward line in the blink of an eye there, Banks. And that's something the PINTs haven't been able to do all day.
No, not at all, Stan. And that quick defensive transition, they've been ruthless when they haven't had the footy, Banks. They've tackled well, and they've put a lot of pressure on the ball carrier. That's certainly been a trait as this one's brought back into play. Sutherland tackled, and now it spills out to almost spent it before he had it there. Pearson did well to come back and lay a tackle. Robbie Kenzie got one high. Play advantage. On, advantage given. And now Matthew Gale's away, takes 3 bounces, now 4 bounces. He can keep on going, 5 bounces. Now he kicks inside 50. Looking for a target. Oggs there. It comes down towards Rayson. Good tackle. comes from Og. Holding the ball, says the umpire, Shane Lurkey, was just lurking for too long. Now, Og kicks up towards the hot spot. Harvey's there. Can he gather? Yes, he can. He's well wrapped up by Chris Kent, though. Spills out towards Vallejo, close to the boundary line, to the top of the square. Umpire says not to the required distance. De Bono again streams out of defence, and it's good defensive work from him once again.
Yeah, he's working overtime back there deep in defence for Banks. Here's Big Priest. He's got a couple to beat at half forward. Can't win that contest. Ben Evans receives a handball for points. His quick kick forward over to big Thomas Shobin. The big fella into the centre square. Wasn't a particularly good kick. 2-on-1 here in favour of the Bulldogs. Just got to draw the player. That's exactly what happens. Handball slipped out wide to Bradley Tarney. He goes inside 50. Goats takes the mark on the second grab. And he can go back and line up for their fourth. It's all falling the Bulldogs' way at the moment. And another gettable shot at goal here from about 40 out. They've had 2 set shots at goal already in this fourth term. The Bulldogs have missed both. And certainly won't get one there. Ordinary kick, but great spoil too. Points player Patrick Heyman, I don't know how he got a hand on that. Prevented an easy chest mark from being taken by the Bulldogs deep in attack. And now Points with the footy on the defensive 50-metre line.
So, McGrath kicks a long ball to the wing. Bucks was there, so was Spencer. No one able to take the mark. Out of play, just forward to centre wing for Banks. 9.5 minutes gone.
This will suit them, Dave. They're just eating up the clock at the moment.
Boundary throw in. Batson taps it down. And they all pile in once again. Kaz Black is at the bottom of it. Also there, Jamie Pay. And the ball up, near enough the same spot. Of course, all these seconds ticking away here in favour of Banks, really.
I think they'll be grateful too. One thing I have noticed in this last term is Points are starting to get away from them. I think they've given their all, the Bulldogs, and there's probably not a lot left to give. But tell you anything that does come Points' way, you think it's a little bit too late at the moment.
It would, but they're not giving up yet. They move it forward. Big bump off the ball. Crook floored his opponent. The Bulldogs win possession, though. There's the man, Big Priest. He has had a sensational performance today. Kicks inside 50. Oh, good fly there from Mitchell. Didn't quite take the mark though. Wheeler wheeled around, kicked to the hot spot. No mark taken. Kenzie did well from behind. He gathered at ground level. Now he's solidly met. Did well to get the handball out. Great Ants clear defence with a dribbling kick. It might be only momentarily. Who's standing in the way? Who else but Big Priest?
Yes, he's done very, very well. Chance here for the Bulldogs. Trent steers the dreadlock and one in the action, provides a little bit of a shepherd. The whistle's gone, free kick. It's going to go Banks' way again. Look, I can't say I saw it. It was a little bit behind the action. The free kick will be taken by Will Johnson. All they haven't done so far, Banks, is kick a goal in this final term. They've done everything else they needed to do. They might not need to kick one in this final term to win the flag anyway. Ball taken off hands, but unable to break the tackle there, Adam Spencer. Oh! Gee, 2 players ran into each other head on. Free kick's going to go Banks' way. The Banks player certainly came off second best. I don't know if there was a lot in that though. They both had their heads down. The footy was in the middle and they just ran into each other.
Yeah, sore head for Craig Watson. You'd feel, geez, it was a big head clash.
I don't think it's as sore as his head's going to be tomorrow morning though, Dave.
Oh, the umpire's got the book out.
Gee, I feel a bit for the Points player there. I just thought that was 2 blokes going for the footy, right smack bang in the middle of each of them. And they were both committed towards it. Gee, if anything, it had to be accidental. It's definitely a report. The umpire's got the book out. So was there a send-off to go with the reporter? Probably missed all that. If there is, that's it.
Yeah, as you say, if there was a report, he would have to be sent off. So maybe just taking a note for the match review panel. This one's handed off. Now, shot from Pearson, skews right off the side of the boot once again. Steers was there, but Green Ants should clear defence, and the kick out wide comes out towards Hocking. Didn't quite take the mark, and now McDermott got around his opponent. kicked further up the wing. It's all Bulldogs though. There was one
bounce.
pint Greenhand and it was Crook. It bounced favourably for him. He got the handball back to Closey, who kicked further afield. Greenhands have somehow manufactured a 4A forward, and that's where it ends, at half forward.
I reckon there's a few Banks players that thought that bounce was Crook. Yeah. Went straight to Crook. They had to as well. He was surrounded by Bulldogs. So boundary throw in, footy at half forward for Pints. Too much work for him to do now. They're 5-3, Banks are 12-4. 13 minutes gone in the final term of the 2015 Division 1 Grand Final. Inventive soccer out of mid-air there for the Bulldogs. Gain of about 40 metres, unfortunately. Just went out of bounds on the full best, about 30 centimetres over the line, and Pints bring the ball back into play. Chris Batch as the mark at centre wing.
He goes up to half forward, no mark taken. Og, it comes to ground level. Bulldogs have numbers. Johnson links up by hands, and now away is Brad Tarney, who spears one inside 50. Napman takes the mark, plays on around the corner. Awkward kick, another terrible kick. I reckon he's kicked 3 out of bounds on the full to go along with his 2 goals
He's going to get another go here. I think the umpires ruled he was free kicked after disposal.
Well, usually I think there's a pretty flawless method with this one for umpiring, Stan. If the kick goes out of bounds on the full, the tackler probably affected the kicker when he had the ball. If the kick goes straight and he ends up on the ground, well, maybe he affected him after the contest. So I'm not sure I agree with this one.
Yeah, I certainly didn't think he had to play on. Would have been better off just going back and having the set shot at goal, which worked out fine for him in the end. Chance for Banks to kick their first goal in this final term. It won't worry them whether or not they do, because they're going to be holding the Premiership Cup at the end of this. I don't think there's much doubt about it now. They have got a goal in the final term though, as Knackman puts through his third. And it's the Banks Bulldogs, 13 goals 4 to Pints 5-3. Margin is 49 points. Be interesting to see what the margin is too, Dave, because it could determine the wording of the Banks Premiership t-shirt. I've got one at home, said we won by 51 points. I was always very jealous of some blokes that had one that said we won by 101 points. This year, how many points are Banks going to win by?
So they're definitely scores from the match, are they? They're not scores from the post-match?
No, that's how it works. Probably similar though.
Kick up towards half forward. Bucks was there, but so was Tarney. And they go wide. They're still full of running backs, and that's an opportunistic mark that's taken by Spencer. In fact, the umpires called play on. Gale claims him a ball up at half forward for the Bulldogs. 16 minutes gone, only 4 minutes of pain left for the Green Ants. This is going to be a comfortable victory and a comfortable premiership for Banks in the end. Magnificent performance. So they had a hard game, a really hard game last week, Stan, against Nightcliff, and they're going to come back off the back of that game and win the flag as Robbie Kenzie clears defence. Strong mark taken in the middle of the ground. The Green Ants will go back through Brad Rayson, who was brought to ground legally, said the umpire.
Got it over the shoulder. Gale wants to play on and run in towards goal, but the umpire's going to bring that one back. One of the few kicks that's gone in Pints' favour in this game. I think Banks would have a pretty favourable free kick count. And Pints long towards centre. But there's a good mark. That's got to be played. Sticky fingers there for the Pints forward. And a shot at goal coming up. Richard Og, the man that was sent off in the first term, it was the first term, wasn't it? Probably missed the last 10 minutes, and Og now goes in towards goal. Not a good day for him, that one offline. And through for one behind to Pints. It's just a matter of what that t-shirt's going to say now. I think it's Pints 5-4, 34, Banks 13-4, 82. 8 straight goals.
Yep, 48 points the difference. It's probably not what we expected, but the Bulldogs are going to be premiers in 2014-15. Dangerous kick. It was a delicate kick.
for mine, this fella.
But of course the footy found him. He's Brad Tarney, and he's had a sensational day today. Bowie able to lay a little shepherd there for his teammate, but
second best on ground, out on the full.
Didn't make good use of a wheeler, yeah.
No, just out on the full. Yeah. Plenty of possessions.
Exactly. Oh, I see what you mean. Room for the Green Ants though. Rayson puts it inside 50. Crook comes back with the flight, got a hand to it. Harvey weighted down. Crook lays the shepherd for him. Harvey back in towards the corridor. Can they find a goal through Og? He shrugged one, went around the corner on the left and missed. Another miss for Rick Og in the last quarter.
Nothing working for them. Even a great effort like that from Og. Just didn't come off in the end. A minor score on the board. Banks go along with the kicking, looking for Big Batston. That's a lovely kick in. He's marked it 60 metres out from their defensive goal. Turns around and plays on the big fella. He looks for the other tall timber in their side, Priest. He took it on the bounce on the half-forward flank. Rolled the kick along the ground up towards the attacking 50. Plenty of dogs here. Steer goes to provide the shepherd. His teammate left the footy behind. And Pint's able to rebound. A big jump there for the Dogs. Unfortunately, no mark taken by Jesse Sutherland, who got up high. Bit of a scrap for it out there on that far side wing. Pints will come up the little handball inboard to their advantage from the half-forward flank. The kick inside 50 doesn't find a target. And once again, Banks will be able to clean up. Kick out towards the grandstand side, switch of play. If the ball stays in, they're off. It won't stay in, it goes over the boundary line. We'll get a boundary throw in the footy deep in the forward pocket for Pints.
Boundary throw in, 19 minutes gone. The Bulldogs are going to be premiers in 2014-15 within the minute as this one's brought back into play. Another free kick, this time it's going to Pint. Cal Crook might take the free kick, and geez, for a focal point, he hasn't troubled the scorers today, and they'd be disappointed about that.
Just hasn't happened for him at all. I think he took a mark early in the first quarter, and there hasn't been one stick since.
In he comes. This one goes across to the left-hand side, and it's cut off.
Crappy day. It's a crappy day, isn't it?
Oh, it is. When it rains, it pours, particularly here in Darwin, Stan. And look at this. The Bulldogs are off to the races. Sutherland takes 2 bounces. Someone needs to go to him. Sutherland kicks inside 50, but it's cut off there, and it could well be it here in the Division 1 Grand Final. It's over.
There it is.
Banks are premiers in Division 2 and now Division 1. Great win for the Bulldogs. Thanks very much for joining us on AFL NTV. Dave Kennedy and Stan Coombs have joined you today. Thanks very much, Stan, for your company today.
Pleasure, mate. Great to sit alongside yourself. All the best.
Look forward to our next call. But from us here on AFL NTV this season, it's been an absolute privilege bringing the footy to you. A big shout out to Mark Knudsen from Kick Digital for the fantastic work that he's done all season, along with Levi, Ben, Sean, Tor, Jay, all the crew down at Kick Digital. They've done a sensational job, and we really thank them for their efforts. But from us here today, we'll see you next time on AFL NTV, season 2015-16, just round the corner.